HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This segment of the news is brought to you by BTC, powered by Lime.
Tourism officials stepping up initiatives to provide cruise ship passengers with more ground activities and improve the current amenities at the Port of Nassau. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Charisma Robinson, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. It's always great to have you join us. The government will be pumping several $1 million to revamp Festival Place and provide those visitors with a brand new experience in the capital. As Janae Noel Ferguson tells us, the project is critical to the growth of the #1 industry.
The first thing passengers see when they exit a cruise ship at the Port of Nassau is the Welcome Center Festival Place. But over the years, the facility, which showcases an assortment of local items, has become run down and in need of expansion. Tourism Minister Obi Wilshcombe says to draw passengers off of the vessels and provide them with a memorable impression, upgrades are necessary.
Otherwise, we'll be stuck with those who come off, and those who have come to the Bahamas multiple times don't want to come off if there's nothing new to do. So we're working right now to introduce a few new things. Now, next month, we've invited all the cruise lines, their leaders, to come to the Bahamas, and we're inviting Bahamians who have ideas, who have projects that they want to sell, to bring them to our meeting, because the cruise lines, we're hoping that they will get new tours. They'll be get new businesses. They'll be able to think about some of the artifacts and other souvenir items that can be sold on the vessel.
The Bahamas is highly dependent on visitor arrivals and tourist spending to help boost the economy. Mr. Wilshcombe strongly feels that as a tourist destination, first impressions are everything, and if visitors don't like what they see, they won't come back.
We've got to get more of our visitors off the vessel, because if you look at the spend, that's where my difficulty is. If you have millions of visitors and they're spending average $60, $70, $80, that's not enough. We've got to get more spend, which means there's a demand on Bahamians to create more tours, create more activity, to ensure we have nightlife, to ensure that we have activities generally.
Now, while Festival Place is being repaired, Minister of Tourism Obi Wilshcombe says vendors that occupy this space will be temporarily set up here along the wharf for the next 9 months. Janae Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, at the country's main gateway, good news continue to surface. There are more developments regarding fees for domestic carriers at Lynden Pinling International Airport. Nassau Airport Development Company officials say they do not envision any additional tax increases anytime soon.
The last increase to the passenger facility fee went into effect in October, and we don't envision any additional increases in the PFC. So any other increases down the road would be sort of cost of living kinds of increases on our aeronautical charges perhaps, but we're not contemplating any such increases right now. We're just happy to be done with construction.
Bahamian-owned airlines had expressed concerns over the new fees that come with the modernized facilities at Lynden Pinling International Airport. They had said that some carriers will not be able to afford the new fee structure and a move into the new domestic terminal. However, NAD's CEO, Vernice Walking, says all outstanding matters have been resolved.
The outstanding matters, each of the carriers we've negotiated their own unique contract arrangements, and they've all signed on. And so when we go live next week, everybody will be in place. So we're really excited about that. We go live on the 23rd, and everybody who needs to be in here will be in here.
Now that LPIA's transformation is complete, here's the plan moving forward.
3 fully finished terminals, and see where we can cut costs as appropriate, be more efficient, and so that'll give us an opportunity, I think, to determine how much it costs us actually to operate these terminals. So we don't want to raise fees if we don't have to.
An industrial action which could have impacted travel on the national flag carrier today has been averted, at least for now. Effective today, the Airport, Airline and Allied Workers Union was scheduled to implement a work-to-rule action over the dismissal of a 60-year-old airline employee. But Union President Nerylane Harding informed ZNS News today that the union has submitted a letter to the Prime Minister requesting a meeting for next Friday. Harding says the union will also return to the Labor Board next week to review the termination status of that airline worker. The Bank of the Bahamas is being challenged to expand its reach into more family islands as it celebrates a milestone. With new economic developments and employment streams surfacing in various family islands, Prime Minister Perry Christie is encouraging the bank to set up branches in those communities like Abaco and Bimini, which are now seeing unprecedented growth.
When you look at this destination of Bimini, and you accept that the developers have bought a cruise ship that is intended to bring 400,000 people each year to Bimini, from Fort Lauderdale to Bimini twice a day. And when you see that the developers have decided that they're going to lengthen the runway to ensure that flights from different points in the world can land in Bimini, then you know it's the real thing. And the bank should not wait to see if other banks are going. You should go in there and join the Royal Bank, I think it is, as quickly as you possibly can. And if you need some help from the government to stimulate that, you let me know, because I'm speaking in capacity of the Minister of Finance.
Now, the Bank of the Bahamas over the past 25 years has witnessed notable expansion. Its assets now stand at more than $890 million. Chairman Richard Demerit says there have been challenges over the past 10 years, but the bank continues to make an impact on the society.
Since 1988, we have helped scores of Bahamians to purchase their homes, to educate their children, and save for retirement. We've provided commercial loans and merchant services for many of the premier businesses establishment in the country, some of whom are represented here tonight. We have also shared our successes with the less fortunate through our ongoing sponsorship of local events and programs and charitable donations to many non-profit organizations and causes.
In your weekend crime news, one man is in hospital in stable condition after he was shot early this morning. Police say that shortly after midnight, the victim was at Corridor Avenue with a group of men when he was shot to the body. He was transported to hospital via a private vehicle. Investigations continue and police appeal to anyone with information on the incident to contact them. Coming up, it's a cultural extravaganza featuring the best cuisine from countries around the world and right here at home.